what's going on out there. I just saw The Batman, so I will do a spoiler free review. This will mostly be just my thoughts, feelings, what I did like, what I didn't like. So let's get into it. Typically, when I'm doing these, I start off with one question. Did I like it? The answer is yes, I really do like this film. And let's go into what I do like about it. The first 5 minutes spends 5 to 10 minutes, I should say. It spends a lot of time setting up Gotham and asking one core question: why does Gotham even need a hero? Why does Gotham even need a Batman? The story is very, I wouldn't say character driven. It's actually more environment, setting driven. It sets up this Gotham, and then it drops a young Batman within that Gotham. And this is a point, a catalyst moment for Batman. Does he change? Does he discover what type of Batman he wants to be? So that premise alone is pretty interesting. As far as like thematic influences, I see several. So the first are very obvious. The first two, David Fincher's The Game, and also another David Fincher film, Seven. Very heavily influenced by those two films. I also see a bit of other points of influence here. Like, for instance, there's shades of The Crow. There's a little bit of Chinatown. There's even a little bit of the film Nikita, Luc Besson's movie. The way that Catwoman is portrayed, shades of the film Nikita. Very good job by Zoe Kravitz in this film, by the way. Also, what I like, the way it looks. This Gotham is very dark, and we typically get that, but I don't mean dark as in like everything looks like it's 11:30 at night, like Zack Snyder films. I mean dark as in the mood is very dreary. If I'm not mistaken, this film was shot in Liverpool, so a lot of the architecture is very gothic looking. So yeah, that really adds to the tone and the mood. Also, the cinematography, a lot of the way the shots are set up really add texture to the story. Like, for instance, our introduction to Batman, the camera is over his shoulder. He's walking through the hallway. This is in the trailer, by the way, so I'm not spoiling anything. It's like in the very first trailer. But the camera is over his shoulder, and we're like seeing the hallway from his perspective, and you're seeing the looks on everyone's faces as he walks through. I think that's a very nice touch that allows us to put ourselves in Batman's boots and see the reaction to him as he's walking in. So that was very cool. But yeah, lots of great shots. The cinematography is excellent. There's even callbacks to previous Matt Reeves films in here with the action. So yeah, that's really good. I guess we can talk about Robert Pattinson's portrayal of Batman. There's going to be a lot of talk about this, of course. There's like a Batman power rankings. And although we spend a lot of time with Batman, it's weird because, like I said, this isn't really a Batman-centric film, which is odd to say because we spend most of the time with Robert Pattinson. But going back to what I said previously, I think this film is more about what type of Batman do you want to be? And for that, Robert Pattinson is the perfect Batman. He had to carry a lot of emotion throughout this movie, so he's perfect for that. And also, this leans heavily into Detective Batman, the world's greatest detective. So for that, he does that well. Like, if you take off the costume and just make this a detective story, then Robert Pattinson is great for that. Like, so this role is perfect for him. I really like the way this Batman is portrayed because to me, it's almost a direct callback to one of my favorite iterations of Batman the animated series, actually, because we got 24 episodes a season. We really got to see like a fleshed out, contemplative detective Batman, and we get to see that here. So yeah, So yeah, we get a lot of that, and I'm laughing because I thought about shout out to the homie AJ. I thought about one of his comments. He's like, my my Batman would put a villain down in one punch, and that actually adds to the character with this Batman. This Batman isn't polished yet, and he's very reckless. So yes, it is hilarious when Batman jumps into a crowd of 10 henchmen and starts punching. So yeah, but like I said, it adds to the character. And typically I hate when comic book movies do the thing where the hero is not quite the hero we know yet and they have to grow into that role. But this movie does it very well because it's not like he's a bad Batman. He just doesn't know what type of Batman he wants to be yet. So for that, it's very interesting seeing that play out. Let's see. I do like the grounded world that's created here. I like the fact that the villains aren't too cartoony. They have real world stakes. It makes sense. You really don't have to suspend disbelief with this film, which is amazing. Now let's get to what I don't like. Once we get to the big plan that's revealed by Paul Dano's, I was about to say Joker, excuse me, Riddler. It then gets very comic booky and cartoony, which I've come to expect from superhero films. But like I said, this is a very grounded world, and it's kind of off-putting once you see the big plan. You're like, okay, like there's actually a time that flashed in my mind. It's like, okay, this is yet another stupid villain plot, and yeah, we definitely got that. But the way the film ends, it ends on a very high note. You're going to be left like wanting more. You're going to be you're going to want to see like more of this Batman and see his progression. So that's cool. I'm really glad that they chose this point to start with because I think we've seen the the killing of Thomas and Martha Wayne several times. We get it, but and Batman Begins kind of touched on this, but not so much. Like there's actually very little Batman in that movie. We actually get more time with Ra's al Ghul and his training, but this is effectively a Batman year one story, or year two story, and that's interesting seeing him, decide which type of Batman he wants to be. Also, this film borrows heavily from one particular storyline, which I won't say, but if you think about it hard enough, you can figure it out if you haven't seen it already. And it also sets up some interesting things for the future. Like I could see where this could go. And as far as I know, well, no, not even as far as I know, I definitely know that these Batman stories haven't been put on the big screen yet. So yeah, there's lots of new ground and material to cover. So that's interesting as well. Overall, I really, really like this film. I guess to get into the 1,000-pound bat in the room, there's a lot of talk of like, oh, this is the greatest comic book movie of all time. Wouldn't go that far. Blade still exists. Spider-Man 2 still exists. So yeah, let's not go that far. But Matt Reeves clearly has a vision for what he wants to do with this Batman. You can tell that he's definitely a Batman fan. And yeah, this is something we haven't seen before in a Batman film or a comic book movie. This type of like just real world, grounded. Yeah, even with the Nolan trilogy, it's still and it's not detrimental at all, but still feel like a comic book movie. But basically creating the base layer of like a detective story and then just adding a guy in a cape on top adds a very nice touch. So I want to see more of this particular Batman's world. I want to see him evolve. But yeah, really great film. Highly recommend. I probably will go see it again soon. But yeah, that's all I have. Let me know what you think if you've seen it already. If you've watched this, come back and let me know what you think. So yeah, really curious to know like how everyone's feeling about Batman. But yeah, that's my short little review. And until next time.